All right, hello guys. Quick one. I'm not going to stay on long because I'm watching some YouTube videos, ghostly ones from a guy called Midwest Ghost Hunter. He's based in America and he goes to all different locations, haunted woods, asylums, houses, cemeteries, and all different kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm watching quite a lot of these videos at the moment. Um, so not lots really been happening here, to be honest with you, over the last year. But there has been a few little bits like little taps, knocks, a few orb, like flying around. But something strange happened last night. Went to the bathroom, and as I was in there, I heard a crazy like bang if something fell down. I thought, what the fuck was that? So after I finished in the bathroom, it actually sounded like it was in the kitchen. So after going to the bathroom and coming out of the bathroom, I went to the kitchen, and I could see nothing that had fallen down. But it was so loud that I heard it in the bathroom. I even checked the living room because that is a fucking mess in there. But there was nothing in there that I could see that had probably fallen down. And then if something had fallen down, then the situation being with that, it wouldn't have made as loud as a bang than it would have done if it was in the kitchen. It would have been more kind of like muffled of a bang. It wouldn't have been as loud than what I heard, and I'll tell you, it's bloody loud. Kind of like freaking me out a little bit. Um, yeah, so that's one thing. Last night, kind of other things been happening a little bit over the last few weeks, like seeing the odd orb. Um, I still keep thinking I can see that little imp down there. Um, but yeah, I say not a lot's happening, but a few minor things are happening. So I want to try to find out what's causing it, who the orbs are, who the spirits are. Trying to find out if Abby and Tina's still around, my spirit guides. Um, I've got my cameras up and running. I did buy some new ones because two of the Wi-Fi ones wasn't working properly. I couldn't get them connected, so I bought two new ones because out of five I had, two worked. So I thought, well, I'll buy another two new ones, the Skepton ones, which came late, day late from Amazon. They came yesterday, and I set them up, and I had some little kind of like issues with them, like sometimes the screen would just go black um, on my mobile phone or on a tablet, and I also bought a new tablet as well, which I was kind of screwed up. I put a memory card in there, I pushed it down too far, and I can't get it out. But it was only like a £60 memory. It was only a £60 tablet. Um, I was able to copy all the files over from my old Levenor tablet to this new tablet. So there's going to be some ghost apps which we're going to be using at a later date as well. I found a couple of my old mobile phones with a lot more ghost apps on. So we're going to be doing ghost hunting soon. Not saying when, soon. Um, I've ordered some more cat balls because I don't know what happened to my last lot of cat balls, and they're probably like dead anyway. The battery's probably gone. And I don't really know why getting the batteries out and putting new ones in. Once the battery goes on cat balls, you might as well throw them away unless you just want the cat to muck around with it without no flashing lights on. I've ordered some flashing disco light thing, but I just realised I've ordered it from a Chinese site. So they won't come until the end of the month, but I still have one or two of these. This is still new, sealed in box, so I will be using one of those later. Going to be using some of the ghost apps on my tablet. I'm gonna have to try and find some apps to try out on the PC as well. I can't remember what ones I used to have, and I don't even know if the serial codes are still going to work. And I don't really want to be spending that another £20-30 on ghost apps each. So it's probably be more apps from the Android. If I can find some of the PC apps, then I'll probably download them and we can try those out at a later date as well. Gonna try to dig out some ghost boxes. I've ordered, I think, a new EMF meter. Let me see if I did order it or not. Actually, yeah, I did order one. This is the one I got from Amazon. Comes with a nice little silky bag. This is it here. So I got that through the other day. That was I think about £15, £20. I can tell you how much it was. Orders. Actually, I got it off eBay, not Amazon. Purchase. £16.55 that was. So, we got several EMF detectors that we're going to be trying out. I've got 2 new versions of the K2 meters, which are digital and not the old analog LEDs. So we can use those as well. What else? I did order, which I've not used yet. So I just don't have the actual clip-on adapter, which is a little clip-on night vision camera. What else we got? I did find my old little camera, but I've only got 1 battery, so I need to order some more batteries. I do have 2 of these working actually, but I need to get a new charge for it because I keep losing the damn charger being so small. What else? Gonna dig out some ghost boxes, maybe one of the Coop boxes, maybe my one which I made myself. K2 meters, maybe 1 or 2 other different type of EMF meters. What else? Digital recorders, because we are going to try and do some live EVPs as well. And that's it for starting off with. We will be doing some live streaming of the cameras, the old CCTV cameras as well, and I will put some of the devices in each room as and when I do the live streams of the CCTV cameras, because it does have audio on them. My old CCTV camera, which is still up and running, it doesn't pick up sound. But the new CCTV cameras which I've got do pick up sound, and I'm able to run it through a PC app, which is good because I can screen share my stream and the cameras both at the same time. Now, with the CCTV cameras, I can't show you now because I'm not on StreamYard, but I do have 5 cameras which have all got audio, but I need to do a lot more sorting out, which I've got to force myself to do, so I can make room so I can get in and do the live streams and do EVPs and ghost boxing and stuff like that. So yeah, I've ordered some new cat balls and I've ordered like a UV torch, which should be here by Saturday. And you see those 2 lights up there are 2 different CCTV cameras. one's got audio in and one don't have audio. The one that don't have audio is on my old CCTV camera. The new one does have audio, as I say. What else is there? Might do some nighttime walkabouts. They won't be long ones because my knees are giving me problems still. Probably about half an hour, 3/4 an hour. Might go and do one or two of the parks. I kind of want to do the one down in the cemetery, but I'm kind of like dreading doing it down there because I don't really feel safe down there. You know, me and Aaron have done it down there before. So has me and Simon James. We've been down there and done it down there before. Simon James even done what are they called? Laser experiments down there. And we did get a couple of little hints and like little bits happening down there. Even one of the tyre swings started moving, which was a bit crazy. Now, the reason why I don't like to do that one on my own is because it's right on the edge of the cemetery. And I don't want no ghosts jumping out in front of me and like scaring the shit out of me because I won't be able to run. No way would I be able to run. The guy as I say, I'm watching at the moment, Midwest Ghost Hunters. He does it all on his own. He's got no one, and he usually just mainly uses a couple of cameras, one just video everything, and he gets a backup one so like he can like do videos while he's walking. It's like stationary, so he could be walking like 50, 60 yards, and the camera's picking up as you're going down. Massive like 50, 60 meters or whatever the camera's able to like pick up. And sometimes you might see stuff manifest behind him as he's walking by the other camera that's like kind of stationary. I don't think I'll be taking too many cameras out. I do have some tripods I can use if I want to do it that way. But I've never really done it that way. I've always carried just one camera around with me. But I've got to find those cameras. I don't know what I've done with them. So I need to find them and then charge the batteries up. I don't really want to buy a new camera, to be honest with you. I have plenty of cameras. I just got to find where I put the damn things. So yeah, there'll probably be maybe the odd walk around during the night time. Not too many because I don't want to freak myself out. But might start doing some cemetery stuff again as well during the daytimes. There's a couple I want to go to, but they are quite far away actually. There's a Beckenham, which I've done with the soldier. Me and Aaron done that at night time, and that's creepy as hell. We've done that twice. The closest one is the Jewish cemetery, but you can't get it at night time, and that's one that actually kind of backs onto the park just up the road. If I do that, it's got to be a daytime visit. The other one I could do during the night time is only in Mitcham Church Road. I could do that one again if I wanted to, because I never really felt that there's anything negative there, and I had done that several times in the past on my own. But me and Aaron has actually done it in the past. Aaron won't do ghost hunting anymore. He's like totally rejects it. So it's no good ask me for Aaron to come up and do any ghost hunting. Now maybe later in the year I might go down to visit my sister and get me other nephew Warren to take me up to Jordan's Wood, and even probably do the Bexley Hospital field again. So those are two two old locations I want to do as well. And Aaron isn't really scared of the dark. I might try to get my other nephew Simon to come with us, but I don't want to be taking too much equipment, because it's just too much hassle, and it's not expensive but valuable equipment. I've only got one IDE device now. I did have two, but I sold one, so I needed the funding, kind of urgently. So I was able to sell one of them, but I've kept one. What else is there? I still got a lot of like ghost hunting gear. Especially stuff that I built myself as well. Um, but it means like looking through it. I know there's quite a few bits here in these drawers, and there's stuff down in the little wooden cabinet down there as well, in the drawers down there. So I'm not having to dig around too much. It's just the cameras to film I've got to find um, for when I go out looking for stuff. See if we get any ghostly apparitions or EVPs or orbs outside, kind of thing. Um, and hopefully, maybe if we get stuff, it might build the channel up again. Now, I'm not expecting to go crazy, like straight away getting hundreds of views, kind of thing, because it's not going to happen. It's going to have to like build up, as like when I first started. I won't get many views when I first started, but it did start building up and up and up and up. I think there's one video where I've had like 1,500, 200 views on it, maybe more. I can't remember. But I'm not expecting that. As I say, it's going to take a lot of time and work. I'm also going to try to do little short videos as well to upload. Because some people might say, like, in the past I've had people saying, like, oh, like, your video's too long, we don't want to be sitting here ages and ages, waiting for a jump scare or, to see an apparition or something like that. So, but the thing is, when you do live long streams, anything can happen at any time. You can't expect a spirit, like, jump out and do things with you straight away, kind of thing. Because, when you're doing it, you've got to build up the energy, Also, your fear factor, they feed off fear, as you all know, spirits do feed off fear. And if you're walking around on your own outside, and you've got fear factor, then there's a possibility that, you might pick up some stuff outside. But as I say, being on my own is like, it's not so much, well, it's a mixture of things. A little bit scary to do it on your own. Two, it can be dangerous because, if you're walking around a cemetery and there's a broken headstone and you don't see it and trip over, serious injury there. And not only that, you've got live people walking around, crackheads and drunks and druggies, that might see you and, run up to you and, like beat you up and, take away your equipment just to, try to get a bit of money to sell and buy more drugs and drinking, whatever, kind of thing. So when I do go out and do stuff, I won't be taking that much equipment out with me. Not expensive stuff, like my EDI, because that's like £300. You can actually get £500 from them now, but I sold it for a lot less than that. What else is there? I was thinking about doing a Ouija boards again, but I've got to find them. I think they're up there on the cupboard over there somewhere, but I've got to find the planchettes, and I don't know if they're down there behind me or if they're up there with the Ouija board. Because when I used to do the Ouija boards, I always put the planchette down in the drawer so I knew where it was. And the Ouija board I used to put back on the wardrobe. But, because my house is still, or my flat is still a fucking mess. There's so many boxes in the living room, it's impossible. I've got a little bit of field of view in the living room. I keep thinking, like, at the moment where the camera is facing the patio door, it looks like a body with a head, and it's there like 24/7, but it's not. It's just like a, I think it's that concrete ornament I found, and I stuck on the shelving out there because it's like, it's got like a wall on the balcony, so it's either that or it could be a pot plant, and it really looks like it's like someone standing there. You can see like the head and the shoulders, and that's it, kind of thing. So when I started doing in the living room, I've got to move some of the stuff out of the way, so I've got access to at least half of the living room. At the moment, I had a clown hanging on the wall, and it's been sitting there for years. And last night I actually took it down because it's blocking the camera. And what I've done is I've just stuck it in a box for now, and you can see the box with a clown just sitting there. So I do want to do some of the dole sessions as well, but I've got to find them. Well, I know where the doles are, but there is a couple of boxes with doles just scattered in the living room somewhere. Now the other thing is, like, it can be a little bit noisy upstairs, so I've got to try to figure out what noise is from upstairs and which isn't from upstairs when we start up the streams again. I can roughly tell you what it is. If we're streaming, or if I'm streaming one day, and I hear a bang, I can say, well, that wasn't upstairs, that was down here somewhere. But if it's upstairs, I'm going to be honest with you, oh, that's upstairs, walking around, or it's someone like opening and shutting the door upstairs, or coming down and slamming the door from downstairs at the entrance, kind of thing. So I'm always up front with that shit. As you know, I've never faked anything, and I never will fake anything. But yeah, I don't know when we're going to be starting up, but I will be starting up again soon. Maybe within a week or two, because I need to find the equipment that I want to use first. Especially in here, and then once I start going outside, it won't be live streaming outside. It'll just be like videoed, captured, and then saved and uploaded when I get home. There'll be like cemetery stuff. Probably go to some woodlands that I know of as well. And later on in the year, when it's like longer daytimes, when it doesn't get dark till about 10, 11 o'clock at night, I may go down to my bushcraft camp and spend a night down there again. I've done it a couple of times. But last time I went down there, my bushcraft had been broken into. The door was like halfway off its hinges, and like someone could easily get in underneath from one of the gaps, kind of thing. It's only because I took, new padlocks down there, because the old padlocks were rusting up, and I had to keep taking WD-40 to like unlock the locks. But I've not been down there for about 5-6 months now, so I want to go down and get my wildlife cam. If I decide to keep down there, I need to change the memory card over there anyway, and the batteries. Now the landowner has passed away; he died, but his daughter is okayed me to still go down there. I've got her phone number somewhere on the phone. So if anything happens, I can always ring and say, like, one of your ponies got out, or someone's like, because she has had people breaking in and causing problems. And apparently it was like her old staff member that was doing all the shit. She has got cameras down there, but I think she said they're not working properly at the moment, so she's got to get them fixed or get new ones. So if I go down to my bushcraft and spend the night over there, it won't be until like June, July time, I think, when we've got the longer day times and the like early morning times. So like you've only got like a 5 or 6 hour complete darkness. But I've got to like clear a lot of bramble and scrub away before I even do anything down there. I'll probably spend a whole day down there, getting some of the shit out of the way, checking the doors okay, making it secure again. I think it needs a little bit of TLC, wood, like the walls need repairing as well. I think the fireplace needs rebuilding. But because of my mental health issues and my normal medical problems, I can't get down there and do all that stuff. I can't really bend down and pick stuff up properly. I can't use an axe with my left hand. Everything I use is more with my right hand. Because I don't have much of a feeling in my left hand. These 3 fingers here is always like feeling numb, and I can't grip stuff with them properly. I can carry a K2 meter with it, but and maybe a torch. But once I've got it in my hands, it does start making my hands feel tired and aching quite quickly, actually. So, yeah. When I go out and do some walkabouts, I'll be taking one of my old mobile phones. I'm not taking the tablets because they ain't expensive. Like the new one cost me £65, and it's full HD 10-inch. It's got the camera on the back. But it's kind of like when I'm running the apps on it, you've got to keep tapping to make the 4 screens come up, and it doesn't actually bring 4 screens up for about 30 seconds, kind of thing. No, I have got other small tablets I can use. I've got even my old mobile phones I can use as well. I did get a notification when I was out earlier, 2 notifications. One on my little Wi-Fi camera, a single one, and then one on the actual CCTV setup, the new setup I put up. But I couldn't connect to the CCTV cameras. But I was able to connect to the small Wi-Fi one, which was a bit weird. And it's just like, that one was just a cat walking about in the hallway. But the other one, CCTV camera, I couldn't view what was happening because it wouldn't connect. While I was on the bus up at Streatham. And I had to go to Streatham today for my eyes test. And I've got to have new glasses again, which I've got to go and pick up next week. But when I get out and do some ghost hunting during the night time, which I hope to do later, I'll be taking either this set with me. I need to find a clip for it, actually, because it doesn't come with a clip. I don't have a coat which has like a straight pocket. All my coats have like a pocket which is diagonal. So if I'm going to go out and use the camera, it's going to have to be something like this. Because I do have the strap for that. But this one is not working at the moment because the battery's flat. So I don't know if this is night vision or not. Well, I may look for another one of these, if it's cheap enough, which has got built-in IR. I might even get like a police cam, like a proper police body cam one at a later date. We'll see how it goes. But I've got me other normal like little digital cameras. But you can only carry so much in your hands, I ain't got 10 pairs of hands, so I need something which has got night vision. And I know I've got one of these somewhere, which was converted to night vision, and that's like a purple tint to it. But I don't know where that went. No, some of these are easy to hack sometimes, but you've got to be further careful when hacking them because you can break the lens. If you break the lens, then it's no good. So, I've got some like little Sonic hand camcorders, which we used over at Streatham Cemetery. Not Streatham Cemetery. Sorry, Streatham Common, Mitcham Common, Wimbledon Common, some of the cemeteries, a few other places that we use, like they're little silver camcorders, which has a flip on screen. So I might have to find one of those because they do have like built-in IR night vision. But I don't really want to be lugging one of those around because they are a little bit heavy on the hand, and I prefer to use something like one of these. So I'll have a look on Amazon, see if I can find one of these which has got built-in IR lights. Otherwise, I'm going to have to find a clip to use this. Now, this does have IR on it. It does have night vision, but it's not that brilliant. It doesn't pick up a distant night shot. I'll say probably about 30, 40 yards, maybe something like that. And you can't really put an IR light on any of it, So I think if I get one of these with built-in IR, then we'll see how that goes. You know, it's all cost now again. I might do some giveaways later. I don't know yet. We'll see how that goes. What else is there? Yeah, I think that's it really. I'll be looking forward to starting doing, like, you know, some of the live streams with live DVR CCTV cameras. We put equipment in the kitchen, in the hallway, in the living room. Probably something behind me as well. I can't put it on a table here, so I've got my disc cleaners here. And with the new EMF detector, this one here, these ones, I've got two of these. This is going off all the time over here. And that's probably because of the Wi-Fi. But if I bring it over here, over on this side of the table, it does go off a little bit, but not, you know, crazy. So you might use a couple of these, or you might use the normal EMF meters. I'll just got to dig out the old LED EMF meters. Might use the old Ghost Meter Pro as well at some stage, if we can find them, or if I can find them. So over the week, it means hunting and sorting out stuff for what I want to use inside. I'm not going to do like I used to, like putting stuff in every single room. If I'm going to do the kitchen one night, we'll use the kitchen and put the stuff out in the kitchen. If we're going to do part of the living room, then I'll put stuff out in the living room. If we're going to do it in hallway, then I'll put stuff in the hallway. But I'm not going to do ghost hunting in every single room, even if though where you might have all the cameras on every single room. Now the only thing is with the cameras, although they all got sound, you can only use sound in one room. You can't use sound in both or 2, 3 rooms, you know, or even 4 rooms. You can only have the camera audio turned on in one. So if we got the audio running in the kitchen, we can still watch the kitchen and the other 3 cameras. And if we do get any sound, like a knock, tap, you know, bang, disembodied voice, then it's got to happen in the kitchen. If it happens in the living room, we're not going to hear it. But the good thing is, the new cameras actually record on memory card. So if we're listening to stuff in the kitchen and suddenly we hear something in the living room, then I can grab that camera, well, not the actual camera, I can grab the memory card and then see if there is anything that may have happened in the living room while we was watching the kitchen. Because you might hear noises in the kitchen and suddenly you might hear a bang or something in the living room, you know, verbally, but you guys won't hear it unless it's loud enough. And then, like, if we do hear something that sounds like it's in the living room, but it was captured on, like, microphone audio, then I can grab the camera, check the camera footage out later, you know, the next day or something, then upload that footage. But I've got to try to remember what time we heard it on the video, so I can, like, download it and just put the clip on. A lot of work, but, you know, if it's going to be worth it or not, I don't know. But that's it really. See how it goes. Tomorrow I'll start looking for some stuff, digging out. I'll have a quick look on Amazon for a new one of these, see how much they are. You know, we've built in IR. So I don't really want to be carrying camcorder around. I could use a camcorder as a knockoff, or not a knockoff, a lock-off camera if I want to. You know, I do have tripods, I do have like IR lights and flashlights to use on the cameras, but as I don't want to be taking too much out when I go out. So, let me just think about it, sort it out. But I will be getting back doing the paranormal within the next couple of weeks. So I need to find the stuff that I want to use first. Make sure they all work and get batteries for them, charge them up and stuff like that. And then, like, if you've got me on notification, you will know when I'm live streaming because it'll be in the title. Start of a new era, or like back to ghost hunting part 1, kind of thing, something like that. So there we go. That's it. Cheers for watching. You can also leave me comments after the videos each day, letting me know what you might have heard or seen, and you can also tell me that what things you might want me to do. The Ouija boards we will get to do, but it won't be straight away. I'm not going to dive straight into that. That might be within the next month or two. I just want to go slow at first, doing ghost boxing, EVPs, watching the cameras, and the equipment, see if we get anything, setting them off. And if we're not actually getting anything, for a couple of weeks, then I probably might start using the Ouija board and hope that might provoke them to come out and start, getting some little more activity again. I need to find out that Abby and Tina's still around. But yeah, we'll see how it goes as I go along with the streams. All right, catch you later. Bye for now.